I made reference to last night at the Cabildo. This started about 2.5 years ago with Chuck calling me saying, "John, we don't have anybody in Louisiana. You're it. Can you do this?" And of course, I didn't know Lafayette was here for 5 nights and days. So I thought, oh, okay, I'm sure I'll just do something at the Cabildo one night. Lafayette will be on his way, and that's the end. Well, I started reading Colonel Lavisseur's journal. I'm like, oh, Lord, Father. But through it all, Chuck kept telling me, I'm going to be with you every step of the way. We're going to make this happen. And we really bonded in LaGrange, Georgia. And that's where it got started. That's where I met the Marquise de Lafayette here. She decided to join me on this journey. And look, I could go on telling stories forever about Chuck, but we all know that Chuck is our everything hero that has made every bicentennial, every city and every town a reality. So, Chuck, we have a very special presentation for you from the New Orleans Bicentennial Committee of the American Friends of Lafayette, Louisiana. As we say, to our hero. I know Lafayette is everybody else's hero, but Chuck is our hero.
Vive Chuck! Vive Chuck!
I had little to do with this. I mean, if you're having a good time in New Orleans, it's because of these two people. Don't get me wrong, they call me, they bounce things off of me, but the hard work was done by them and their committee, and I commend you because we're halfway through, and who's having a good time? It's tremendous, and we're teaching people. How about the kids this morning? Yeah. Is that amazing? Yeah. I mean, for this committee to think about that, to take us to a school, that was fabulous. Yeah. I love you guys. Thank you so much for this. I can't thank you enough.
Don't forget the police escort.
Oh, I almost did forget about the police escort. We have to talk about that for a second.
More than a second.
How cool was that? Did you guys see the motorcycles?
Yes, they're on the street rail.
Right, I've never seen anybody drive in the lanes for the streetcars. That was
Well, we
I
said
think that's why NOPD was watching us like we were crazy driving by. Like, what are we doing?
we saved like 30 minutes. I was like, this is Lafayette himself was so happy he couldn't get over. So, John, I don't know what strings you pulled, but apparently it didn't cost us a cent. Thank you very much.
As Denise has learned, I'm a time efficiency nut. You know, because we're going over speeches. All right, can we cut this one by 30 from 2 minutes to 1 minute and 45 seconds? From this one from 5 minutes to 4. You know, so it's one other award, and I'm so glad they came tonight. Over the last 2 years, we've had some committee members for 2 years. Some joined us a year ago. Some more recently. A couple who became very involved within the last few months and just have come through on everything. There was never a no answer, I can't do that. And you saw him today. He was in last night leading the French Color Guard, as Denise called it, the American Friends of Lafayette Color Guard. And his wife has done just tirelessly work with Charles Cassar, helping with the show you saw this morning with the kids. And we want to give this presentation to Tim and Charlene Strain of Lafayette Bus. Woo! And our appreciation. But, as they say in Ronco, but wait, there's more. This is one that I have been working on to give for almost 2 years. I don't want to give it right away, but... There's a couple stories that if I don't set this up, you're going to wonder what the heck is this about. All right. Well, Denise and I have a joke. We joke about Chuck a lot. We call him our post, our strong post, and that's because when we were first trying to negotiate something with the Royal Orleans Hotel, we're going to get in this phone conference, and Chuck says to me, "Okay, John, tell you what, you be the good cop, and I'll be the bad cop." So we're talking with the girl from Block Reservations, And, you know, she's saying like, well, you know, we expect y'all will pay for that. And Chuck says, yeah, okay, we'll pay for that. And then, so there's something else, well, we need y'all to pay for that. And Chuck says, yeah, okay, we'll pay for that too. And I'm sitting there on, okay, Chuck, anytime, bad cop. I'm waiting for bad cop. So the conversation ends and Chuck says, how do you think it went? I said, well, great for them. I said, but the only thing you didn't promise them is your next grandchild. You know, it's like, so I said, next time, you're a good cop, I'm bad cop. So, what is this that I have something for Chuck? Who here was in LaGrange 2 years ago? I went to the cute little ice cream parlor they had one night, and I'm walking back, and right in front of me is this horrific car wreck. Anybody else saw the car wreck? And this young girl's driving one of these big super cab trucks, and she runs a red light. Fortunately, nobody was hurt, but she must have panicked, and instead of hitting the brake, she must have hit the gas, and she runs into, I called it Lafayette Square. In the center of town is this beautiful little square, you know, little 3-foot wrought iron fence running around you, enter from the corners, beautiful fountain in the middle with the statue of Lafayette. The cops come, and I said, hey, witness? Oh, no, we got traffic cameras, you're good. He said, but if you don't mind, you need to, like, go to the far side of the square and cut all the way across because we're closed and it's off. So I'm the only one walking. I've come to the far side of the square, which is a block away, and there's this thing lying in the middle of the sidewalk. And I pick it up, and I realize what it was. It is the end head post to the wrought iron fence. That's how hard she hit this sucker. She flew it like 100 yards away. Lucky nobody got killed. And I'm thinking, it's all damaged, it's bent up. What are they going to do with it? So I decided, I'm going to take it. But, so then it's at my house, and my wife says, what are you going to do with that? And I said, I'll think of something. I'm going to do something with it. And I decided, you know what? Because Chuck is such our solid post. I'm going to give this. In fact, just the other day when I said that, my lovely wife, Roxanne, says, yes, you know, I think you should really give it to Chuck. And, well, those weren't like exact words. It was like, you know, get this out of my house. You know, but Chuck, she still meant it with love and affection. You know, so Chuck, from I'll read it, to Chuck Schwam, our solid post from LaGrange, Georgia to New Orleans, Louisiana. Thanks for everything, AFL, Louisiana. A little token from LaGrange, Georgia.
Bonnie, we got a post!
Steve Chuck!
Oh, wait. I gotta say something after that, right, you know. But I'm still handling.
Well, this is a first. Thank you very much. I'm not good at bad cop. I'm just not. And Bonnie's the treasurer, and she's getting a little fed up with the good cop too. So anyway, so thank you very, very much. I really appreciate it. And I'm speechless. I don't know what to say. I got a post.
The ultimate paperweight. There you go.
Thank you so much.
Right. And you know,
Someone who was coming but had to cancel a few weeks ago was Dr. Richard Ingram, who was our host in LaGrange. And Rich, something comes out, he had to cancel, but Richard was going to be part of this because if he was here, he was supposed to come up and say, John, we've been looking for that for 2 years. So sorry Richard couldn't be here, but Chuck, we love you and thanks for everything.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Vive Lafayette! Vive Lafayette!
If you want a picture with me as young Adrienne, you need to do it now because I will be changing into old Adrienne and doing my program as old Adrienne because you want to hear about Adrienne, not about Lafayette. I mean, we've heard about him all day, right? Yeah.
it's true.
Okay. Any takers? Okay.
Come here. And Alexi said, you need to give him a shot. You have to trip over
So David.
How much longer are you with us?
I'll be here till Sunday and more now.
That's great.
great.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to make the concert.
I'm not making the concert. I'm going to try to make the concert.
But they're in Washington. 4 or 5 performances.
One at the embassy, one at the embassy, one at and they're having trouble.
Well, I just sent notice yesterday to my friends at DC, tell them to buy tickets that they have.
Right. And I sent out an email. Marie Hilly sent me an email.
Yes.
Said, please send us out. Hi. Are you married to this handsome man? Well, he's such a nice guy. Yeah.